Moving on is the 8-women tag team match that I discussed earlier. Zack Ryder makes his return. Matt Cardona debuts here on Smackdown against Kit Wilson. Obviously, Matt Cardona wins, but can we just be clear that Kit Wilson is like the only guy on the roster who actually has a clear goal. He wants to redefine masculinity. I'm not saying it's like the best goal, the best thing to strive for, but it's something. Commentary even points this out. In my opinion, Kit should win like a mid-card title while he's waiting for his tag team partner to return from injury. I'm assuming his partner is injured, but I'm glad Matt stuck to his guns and signed as Matt Cardona. Otherwise, all that time on the indies would have been completely for nothing. Then Sami Zayn comes out, who basically gets called a jobber by his son, who asks him, Papa, why is John Cena called the Never Seen 17? Sami Zayn says, well, son, my offspring, it basically means that John Cena has won a world title 17 times. And his son says, Papa, how many times have you won a world title? And Sami Zayn says, unfortunately, I've never won a world title. But it's obviously clear why Sami Zayn hasn't been a WWE champion or world champion. Just look at John Cena and look at your father, Sami. It's day and night why Sami hasn't brought a world title home for you to play with. Boring. And thank goodness we got this man to come and save the day. Trick Williams debuts and he absolutely flames Sami on the mic. I recommend y'all go checking out his promo, but obviously ignore what Sami has to say. He brought absolutely nothing to this SmackDown. Trick has so much more charisma than Sami. It's not even funny. I hear Sami's music, and I just want to cover my head with a blanket and take a nap. But you guys expect to hear what I have to say, even if it's a small amount that actually cares. Trick actually looks like someone I'd be happy to call champion, happy to call the face of the WWE. But Sami, I'd barely trust him checking me out at Blockbusters. Alright, this guy should be released. How in the world is he still signed, but Karrion Kross isn't? It's disgusting. Then Sami basically just says to Trick that you need to be humbled, implying that Sami Zayn, will humble Trick at some point. And if that actually happens, I might just stop watching WWE, y'all. Same for if Rey Fenix beats Trick Williams next week. I'll find something else to do on Mondays and Fridays. After that, Ilja Dragunov has a conversation with Carmelo Hayes, asking if he's going to keep the prestigious Open Challenge for the United States title alive. Carmelo pretty much says, yeah, dog. But first, he has to deal with Johnny Gargano. And after Johnny's jersey has been moved to the rafters, he'll consider continuing the Open Challenge. I thought to myself, Carmelo Hayes looks absolutely amazing with the U.S. Championship. But why can't we get some interesting stories from Hayes as U.S. champion? And not just putting him in great wrestling matches. Luckily, Carmelo didn't lose his title, unlike Chelsea, who will lose hers later in the night. In my opinion, Giulia won't benefit from this whatsoever. She's already been killed on main roster. I do like Kiana for two pretty big reasons, but I'm not getting into that right now because I am a man of God. I'm glad she's covered up during the show, for the most part, this week. Also, I forgot to mention, during Johnny Gargano's entrance, we cut to the back. Nick Aldis is talking with Rey Fenix when Trick Willie appears saying how he can't believe Sami would talk to him like that and basically leave him out there looking stupid. But yeah, Nick Aldis and Rey Fenix, I believe they were talking in Spanish, and Trick isn't having any of that, so Nick agrees with Sami that Trick Willie needs to be humbled. He then makes it Rey Fenix versus Trick Williams next week on SmackDown. But yeah, we cut back to the ring. Johnny Wrestling taking on Carmelo Hayes for the U.S. title. Okay, this match was way too long. Why do we need competitive matches every single week? Why can't one wrestler get squashed? Why do we need 10 to 15, 20-minute matches all the time? And also, why can't we have, variety of matches? Why can't we have 1-on-2 1-on-3 matches. You know, make it exciting. Like, wouldn't it be interesting if Carmelo Hayes was to defend his U.S. title in like a gauntlet match where he doesn't know who's coming out to challenge him? I mean, obviously, it would be like Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano, Ilja, Dragunov, Fraxium, or Nathan Frazier in Axiom. But still, a gauntlet match on SmackDown to determine like possibly a new U.S. champion? That'd be interesting. But yeah, Carmelo Hayes retains the U.S. title against Johnny Gargano. And after that, we get the Chelsea Green match with Giulia. Chelsea loses her U.S. title. I'll say this. Chelsea keeps getting screwed over, sure. She'll win a title, but they won't let her defend it successfully. And they won't give her a proper storyline to go with the title. Or at least this reign, at least. The first reign. I think they did pretty good. Oh yeah, I also almost forgot to mention that we got a lame Uncle Howdy promo towards Solo. Boring. Let's be honest, Bo Dallas isn't Bray Wyatt. Finally, the main event. A ambulance match between Damian Priest and Aleister Black. This feud should have ended 5 or 6 months ago. I can't believe they've been at each other's throats for that long. Ridiculous. Damian Priest wins after Rhea Ripley riptides Zelina in the ring, but that's SmackDown, y'all. I remember the days of WWE being must-watch, even if it wasn't the Attitude Era. But you couldn't miss a week. Now I could miss an entire year and not worry, feeling like I missed out on anything. But if I had to rate this episode, I'd give it, a 2.5. Maybe a 3. Only because we got Trick and Grace on the main roster. And I think, they can't always have people debuting every week. I mean, honestly, they could if they knew what to do. If they had consistent booking for the wrestlers in NXT. Or a consistent main roster for the NXT wrestlers to to debut onto. Honestly, I think there were a lot of wrestlers in 2024 and 2025 throughout NXT that could have been called up, but Triple H chose not to. I don't know why. I don't know why, but he chose not to, and we are in this position now, trying to build stars at the start of the year. That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. You know, it was a clear path. John Cena gave y'all a clear path. He wanted to work a 4 year, okay? Not a 4 year, but a full schedule. And that could have helped expand the roster, built new stars that could carry on where John Cena left off. But Triple H doesn't want to build stars that's bigger than the company anymore. He doesn't want another Stone Cold. He doesn't want another Rock. He doesn't want another Hulk Hogan. He doesn't want another John Cena. He doesn't want another Undertaker. That's why we get the knockoff Damian Priest and Aleister Black, which is just like a knockoff Karrion Kross, which really makes me mad. Well, to be honest, I think Black was in NXT before Cross. So, but they had two different characters at the time. Now, it just feels like as soon as they fired Cross, Black is basically in the position that Cross should have been. And all those NXT guys, I mean, it doesn't matter if they wasn't ready, okay? Look, all of the botches that we got throughout these past few years from Triple H, it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't make a difference. It wouldn't make a difference, okay? At least we would have fresh faces, but Triple H doesn't see it that way. I mean, these shows are already unwatchable, but we also had Drew McIntyre burning a picture of Cody Rhodes and Dusty his father. But let's keep it real. Let's keep it 100 right here. Drew McIntyre isn't getting anywhere near that WWE title anytime soon. I mean, earlier in the night, Randy told Cody after he's finished with Drew, he's coming for that WWE Championship. I don't know why, but Cody looked like he's disappointed, like he doesn't want to face his friends. It was the same way with Sami earlier. Sure, you are friends, but that doesn't mean you avoid or you only give them opportunities to face for your title. And that's why no new stars were built throughout 2024 or 2025. Because Cody Rhodes doesn't want to move to the back seat and understand that he's a jobber. He should be a real man and let Drew carry the strap for a while. Because Cody cannot draw. He isn't a draw. He's never been a draw. If it wasn't for his father, he'd be working as some accountant or a fitness coach.